everybody, it's Pia again, and I wanted to go ahead and fill the plant container that I made the other day. Okay, this is with the silicone and gravel. It's actually the gravel that was in this tank, and I'm going to go ahead and fill it and take cuttings of all of the stem plants that have gotten really long and put in here, and this is going to be going into the betta tank. So we'll just go ahead and start by gathering some gravel out of the tank. I have a cup here. This is a measuring cup that has come to live in the aquarium world here. So I'm just going to go ahead and reach in. I'm out of frame right now in this one corner here, reaching in and bring up some gravel, pour it in. You can hear it's running out, and it's just because this is a little bit hard for me to get on camera, but I'll show you. I'm just going to reach down in, scoop up some gravel here in the front, and then I'm just going to drop it into my container there. So we'll get some gravel in that container. And I'm making a mess, which I usually do when I'm messing with my tanks and having fun. I hope that you had fun with yours too. Oh, and I have towels down and stuff, so it just makes it a little bit easier. So, okay, so I have filled this now with some gravel, you can see now. Alright, and I'm going to do my plant clippings. Let's just set this. Let's see if we can leave this in here, if these branches are still strong enough to hold it for now. Yeah, that'll work for now. Get that drip so you don't see that on the screen, because sometimes that's all you can see are drips on your aquariums. So if you want to take pretty pictures of your aquariums and share them with people, go ahead and get all of those drips off. So see, there's some plants right here that I'm going to clip, and we're going to put them. I just use regular scissors. I know there's a lot of expensive, great, cool little toys on the market. Well, I can afford to not use all those little toys. So I can get a little more done using a little. I could get more things if I use a little less when it comes to these toys. And I've got this piece caught here, that's okay. So I'm just going to lay these up on my lid for now that's open. And then I'm going to come in here and look at some others. Now, there's two different types of Rotalia. This is very, very red, this piece here. It might be hard to see, but it has a lot of red on it compared to this. This is pinker, and so I'm trying to put this one in a different group. So I'm going to cut all the ones that have more pink coloring to them versus the red. And so I'm going to follow this stem down. Whoops. They're caught down here, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this one and take that out, and I'll set that up here on top. And let's come in and pull some more forward and push them down a little bit and cut them so that I have a nice length on my plants. I try not to hack them all back at once. I try to make it a little more natural, where some are shorter and some are longer. And I just lay them all in the same direction so that they're easier to plant downward. And I might take this bunch out right here. Let's just come in here and give those a good cut, because that'll make a nice little grouping in my new potted plants. And we can leave those. It also opens up the area down here to some more light, which all the plants do need, even if they're lower light or not. They're going to need a nice amount of light coming through. So this looks good. I got some stuff over here that looks kind of yucky and has some blackbeard on it. I'm just going to cut it and take it out. It's not worth it. It's not growing real well, so we'll just take it and cut it, take that out, and just push that off to the side. And this one actually is growing really well and has some has a bunch of the bearded blackbeard algae on it. This blackbeard algae here too on this branch is also, my guppies and my mollies will eat that. So if you don't feed them one meal a day, they'll come along and just munch that up. And there's a little bit here, they'll munch this all up too. So that works out, letting them do that. Here's another of the pink variety. Like I said, there's one that's more red, and I'm taking all the pink and putting that into the just one container. That'll make it nice and full. And I'm going to leave these red ones for now, and I'm going to replant them later next week at the base here. I want to give them some extra light to get going here. I'm going to push this back over. That's why I had this behind the log like that. And I was just trying something to get it out and get its own set of light, because it was getting caught back here and it just wasn't doing as well. So this is all starting to grow out nice. So I've got some over here to the left. Let me go ahead and readjust the camera. Here in the 29 that I also want to clip. Let's go ahead and adjust that a little bit. There we go. So I'll come over and grab some of these. This one here is already, what I'm touching here with my hand is in a pot down here. So that's for another aquarium. Like I said, sometimes my aquariums end up being, they actually end up being little nurseries for other aquariums that I'm going to start, or other groupings of plants. There's a piece of pennywort that I'm letting float around in this aquarium. Maybe you can see a little better there. Letting it float around in this aquarium because it's going to go in the betta aquarium, the divided aquarium, and I'm going to let it just float on the top because they really like to have a plant like that they can hang in. So I'm going to take some of these from the front and just reach in, and I'll cut them all about the same length, and I'll still have some in the back that are hanging up, you know, very nicely and giving me a nice look. So I think I have a couple right here to cut. Oh, there we go. Now we got a nice big bunch to put in this pot, and I'll show you how I like to do it. So there, pulling out a few little ones. There we go. So there, we still have some nice coverage in the back. There's another nice long one. And, you know, it can still have a little more natural effect. My fish have plenty of places to swim and hide and go around. Well, this valve's getting a little long. I like to snip it at an angle, and it makes it look a little neater. That's all. Like I said, this is just in here temporarily. I'm liking that it's nice and long and happy. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and we'll get these planted. And I'm going to use my tongs, if I can find where I put them. Yay! Here we go. Got them. Got my tongs. These happen to be Fluval. I don't think there's any difference from one to the other. Whatever works for you, that's what you use. And now what I'm doing is I'm putting all the longer plants that I would like to put into my pot together, and I'm going to try to put them along one side. Whoop! Fell off. Okay, I'm lining them up right here, lining it all up, and then I'm going to put them into the tongs like that. I kind of get them lined up, put them in that way, and then I'll just come in and work them down into the gravel. I have found, oop, here we go. We're playing the I don't want to go in game. I'll come in a little backwards and then work it in. There we go. Now, and then push a little gravel in. Stem plants like this, they'll root a little bit, but mainly they're water column feeders. But when I'm starting them out, and to make sure they establish well, I'll go ahead and put one root tab in. And then after that, I won't bother. You just keep clipping them and clipping them. I haven't put root tabs in I don't know, 6 months in the back, and they just keep growing so pretty. So we'll go ahead and we'll put some more in along the back. I think I'm going to go ahead and just put this in here. You kind of come in at an angle, it helps, and then push it back against the back of your container. Push your gravel. And then we still have our cup that we can pick up. There goes an escapee! So we can always go ahead and push our gravel, pour some more gravel back in. So that's going to make a pretty backdrop to all these plants. Now I'll put in some smaller ones in the front. Just some plants that they were kind of in the back, so they're not as full, but they'll get there. They'll look nice in just a little bit. I'll go ahead and we'll put this in like that. Get that down in there, so that'll be pretty, and it gives the bettas some place to either sit or to just swim through, so they like to have that. And I want to give them all that opportunity I can to enjoy. There we go. We'll just stick this back in here. So that's all it is just finding your stem plants, cutting them, and just arranging them in a container or the gravel. You can do it that way too, but this particular video is for arranging it in the potted plants here, and then I just nestle them down in the gravel. You can gravel back all you want around it, keep your tank real clean, and not have to worry one bit about uprooting your plants, because you know that they are in the containers. So just work that into there, and so that container is also going into a tank that is not going to be graveled, so that's why I just wanted to decorate it and make it look a little bit more interesting than just a plain little pot. And so you can see you get different heights, and then you can trim it however you want in the future. And this is all grown with Easy Green. And I do throw a little extra, I know it's got extra potassium in it, but I still throw a little extra potassium in it because I have a lot of Anubias and Java ferns in all of my tanks. This one does not need, it needs a little extra iron, and that's what gives you the pinker ends. I know these pink ends are probably a little harder to see, but these pink ends here need a little more iron, and that's how you get that pink to come through. I'm trying to change the light so you can see the pink coloring a little easier in them instead of the lights just blasting, because the LED is so powerful. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And then this is going to sit in this tank and be part of the nursery, and it'll be all ready to go into the betta tank. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and please subscribe and give a like to the particular videos you've enjoyed. Thank you so much, and may you have peace and happiness in your world. Take care.